Hi guys, good evening and welcome to Gradeup. My name is Harshmeet Singh and your next class for this important term series starts now. I hope all of you are doing absolutely fine and I hope that all of you are ready for this next class. Today in this important term series, we will be focusing on a very important concept which we don't really read in our polity books. We focus on the Lok Sabha elections, we focus on the Legislative Assembly elections, but the sad part is we don't really focus on the Rajya Sabha elections. We read about the Rajya Sabha, we talk about the Rajya Sabha, but we don't really focus on the Rajya Sabha elections. How do these elections exactly happen? And what is unique about these elections? Good evening to all of you. Hi guys, hi Tanvi, good evening. Hi Shruti, good evening. Everyone, those who have joined in, I hope all of you are safe and within the confines of your house. You're not going outside and wearing a mask whenever it is necessary. Now, before we begin this, as I told you, the Rajya Sabha elections are not something that is given, that these are given in detail in your polity books, unfortunately. That is why what we'll be doing is we will be studying them in detail. How exactly do the Rajya Sabha elections happen? Who takes part? Who does not take part? What is the process behind it? And each and everything. Make sure that you like this session, hit the like button. Make sure that you are subscribed to the Gradeup IAS YouTube channel as well. And if you have any questions, always feel free to leave a doubt here. Now, as you know, only three union territories have representation in the Rajya Sabha. That is Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir, and Puducherry. As you would know, the only union territories which have a state legislature, the union territories which have a state legislature would be the only ones that would be representing or that would have any representation in the Rajya Sabha. Now, remember, in the Rajya Sabha, the voting only happens when the number of candidates are more than the number of vacancies. So, if let's say there are four vacancies in the Rajya Sabha and there are only four people who are taking part in the elections, then obviously there would not be any elections. Elections are only held when the number of people who are contesting elections are more than the number of seats. So if there are, let's say, 3 seats vacant from Gujarat and only 3 people are contesting elections, then you will not have elections. Independent members who don't belong to any political party can also take part, although they're usually not elected, but they can also take part. Now, as you know about the Rajya Sabha, it's a permanent house. So one-third members of the parliament in Rajya Sabha retire every 2 years. So if these are the members of Rajya Sabha in 2020, in 2022 the first lot will change. In 2024 the next lot will change. In 2026 the third lot will change. This is how the elections happen in the Rajya Sabha. One-third people change after every 2 years, meaning that a person in the Rajya Sabha, a member of Rajya Sabha, would have a 6-year tenure, although the entire house does not change together. Who votes in the Rajya Sabha elections? You and me, the citizens of India, we don't vote in the Rajya Sabha elections. Only elected MLAs vote in the Rajya Sabha elections. Only elected MLAs, remember that. Only elected members of the state legislative assembly would vote in the Rajya Sabha. Meaning that it is the state MLAs who decide who would be in the Rajya Sabha. So it's very simple to imagine if BJP, for example, has a majority in Gujarat legislative assembly, BJP candidate usually wins the election from Gujarat to go to Rajya Sabha. Vacancies can also come because maybe people have resigned. Vacancies can also come, maybe people have been disqualified because of death of the members of Rajya Sabha. There are many reasons because of which there can be vacancies. Now, the Rajya Sabha has a very varied composition. As I said, Delhi, Puducherry, and Jammu and Kashmir also now elect members to the Rajya Sabha. These are the only three union territories that do that. Now, Rajya Sabha is formed in such a way that it is difficult for any one party to get a majority in the Rajya Sabha because the state legislature votes. Earlier, when the Congress was such a dominant party till the mid 1960s that every state was ruled by the Congress only, till that time in Rajya Sabha also Congress used to have a majority. But since the rise of the regional parties, the rise of smaller parties, for example, we have BSP Samajwadi Party in UP, we have the BJD, we have the Biju Janata Dal in Odisha, we have the DMK, we have the AIA DMK that is in South India, in Tamil Nadu, we have the LDF UDF that is in Kerala. Welcome, Amit. So when you have different types of parties, what you actually see is no one political party actually has the majority in the Rajya Sabha, because different political parties, we vote for different people. So although BJP is the largest party in Rajya Sabha, but it is difficult for one single party to get majority in Rajya Sabha. In order to get majority in Rajya Sabha, you first need to rule over most of the states in India. Wait for your turn when the vacancy arises, and then maybe you can have those candidates. As I said, the elections for Rajya Sabha will only happen if the number of candidates are more than the number of vacancies. Now, the point is that in Rajya Sabha, for example, if there are 4 seats that are vacant in Rajya Sabha in Gujarat, now the problem is if if 4 seats are vacant, elections are held in Rajya Sabha, BJP obviously has majority in Gujarat. That doesn't mean that all 4 candidates from BJP only will win the election. No, that is not what happens. Because the elections happen in such a way that it is not that simple. The elections happen by the method of proportional representation. So if BJP has 60% MLAs, 60% of BJP's candidates will win the election. If BJP has 40% MLAs in UP, 40% of the seats in Rajya Sabha will go to BJP. That is what usually happens. If anyone wants to contest the Rajya Sabha election, the candidate has to have at least 10 proposers. At least 10 proposers. It means at least 10 people should sign on the form that yes, he has to contest the election. For independent also, at least 10 people have to sign on the paper that yes, this person wants to contest the election. As I said, the voting method is not simple. The voting method for Rajya Sabha is proportional representation by single transferable vote. The same method that is applied to the President of India's election. Now, the interesting part is, as we have discussed in the President's election, when you are voting in the Rajya Sabha, you give a priority order. Hello, Hemlata. If there are 4 candidates who want to contest in the Rajya Sabha, you give a priority order. Number 1 rank is this, number 2 rank is this, number 3, number 4, etc. First rank vote is equal to 100. So if I gave first rank vote to someone, that means I have given 100 votes to that person. If A, B, C, D are 4 people contesting elections, I will have to give a preference. Let's say my first preference is A, second preference is D, third preference is C, and fourth preference is B. My first preference will get 100 points. If there are, for example, total of 180 MLAs that are voting, and there are 4 vacancies in the Rajya Sabha, 4 people have to be sent to Rajya Sabha, then the formula is the winning candidate requires number of MLAs upon total number of vacancies, that is 4 plus 1, these many votes. So if there are 180 MLAs who are voting, any candidate who gets 36 votes will win the election. That is what happens. In order to win the election, how many votes do you have to get? You have to make sure total number of votes divided by total number of vacancies plus 1. So 180 divided by 4 plus 1, 5. If you get 36 votes, then you will win the Rajya Sabha MP election. Now, the Rajya Sabha elections do not happen by a secret ballot. Secret ballot means in Lok Sabha, etc. When you vote, EVM machine is hidden, no one can see आपने किसको vote किया. But in Rajya Sabha, that is not the case. Rajya Sabha elections don't happen by a secret ballot. They happen in an open ballot. Everyone can see who have you voted for. Why? So that you can only vote for your party. If you are a BJP MLA but you are still voting for Congress, so BJP wants to know. To avoid this, to avoid cross voting, every MLA before voting has to show his vote to his party leader, his party agent. Every party will appoint an agent. So BJP will appoint an agent, Congress will appoint an agent. Before BJP MLAs go and vote, they have to show their vote to BJP agent to see, देखो मैंने उन्हीं को वोट किया जिनको आपने बोला. Congress, or for example, before voting has to show, see, I am voting for you. Without showing the agent of the party, you cannot vote. The independent candidates don't have to show to anyone. The independent candidates vote secretly. Also, in Rajya Sabha elections, remember there is no nota option. In 2018, the Supreme Court clarified in the Rajya Sabha elections, there can be no nota. Why? Supreme Court said in indirect elections, we cannot have nota. The nota option is not available in indirect elections like the Rajya Sabha, like the President election, like Legislative Council election. We can't have a nota option. Nota option is only for Lok Sabha and for Legislative Assembly. There is one more question about Rajya Sabha elections. Let's say if I am an MLA, I have just been chosen as the MLA, I have not taken an oath right now. Before oath, if Rajya Sabha elections are taking place, can an MLA vote? Can an MLA vote in a Rajya Sabha elections before taking the oath? If I am just being elected as an MLA, I have not taken the oath, etc. Can I go ahead and participate in Rajya Sabha elections? The answer as given by the Supreme Court is yes. Even before I take the oath of MLA, I can vote in the Rajya Sabha election. Why? Because voting in the Rajya Sabha election is a non-legislative activity. I cannot perform any legislative activity, means I cannot vote for a law, pass a law before taking the oath as MLA. But before taking the oath as MLA, I can certainly vote in the Rajya Sabha election. This is our topic for today. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you enjoyed it. To remind you, less than 2 months remain for the IAS 2021 examinations. About 400 days remain for the IAS 2022 prelims. Also, right now, just a few hours are left. Today is the last day for month-end sale at Gradeup. The code is PREP55. Make sure you use this code to get 55% off on the Gradeup Super subscription. These are the ongoing courses that you can join: the IAS 21 crash course, the 22 foundation course, the NCRT courses, and a lot more. You have an option to buy subscription in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 24 months. Apply the coupon code, that is PREP55. You get access to all the running and upcoming courses by one single Gradeup Super subscription, structured study plan, expert faculty, study material, and a lot more. We have a lot of varied and very experienced faculty for each and every subject. I'm sure that you attended their classes. This is me, Harshmeet Singh. I teach polity and governance. I have teachers from all backgrounds, experts in different subjects who are here to teach you. We're also on Telegram. Do search for Gradeup IAS preparation. This is the name of our Telegram channel. We update study material and short notes regularly on the Telegram channel. Do join it. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Stay safe. Don't go outside if not necessary. I will see you on Monday. Till then, bye bye, guys. Take care of yourself.